Hello everyone, welcome to Coder and Boots. So in this video, we are going to discuss about a web UI for Kafka. Okay, so I have already covered several topics related to Kafka. I have demonstrated the internals of Kafka through various videos. So now I'm going to show you a simple topic, so which is a very friendly, user-friendly web UI to manage Kafka clusters. Because if you are familiar with managing Kafka clusters, you will have to interact. So if you're going with Apache Kafka, so you'll have to deal with the command line for doing most of the operations. So getting a GUI, it is very helpful. Okay, so that is what I am going to demonstrate right now. So I'm not going to talk to you a lot of theory things here. So I'm directly getting into the practical part of it. Okay, so first thing, basically you can see a repository in GitHub that is basically Proactus Kafka UI. So this is the place where the source code of the Kafka GUI is present. So you don't really need to build anything directly from the source code, because already there are Docker containers directly available from this provider, and it is purely open source. So there is as you can see, UI for Apache Kafka is free tool built and supported by open source community. Okay, and the code always remains free and open source. Okay, but this is very powerful, and if you want to develop it further, like if you want to add more capabilities and all, you can contribute and make it more robust. So, and they do have a website, so docs.kafka UI. So here it explains about the documentation of the configuration part, the features, roadmaps, everything. So so to install it, so basically what we need is go to the getting started session, and to install it takes only less than a minute. The reason is it's directly available as a Docker container, so you can just run this container and get it installed. So, and as they have explained, this is just for demo run. So if you want to basically make configuration changes, what you can do is you can follow the detailed installation steps, and there you will modify, you will get direct access to the configuration file. You can override the configuration files and enable authentication, enable SSO, or more advanced mechanisms to this Kafka GUI. So I'm going to demonstrate the simple mechanism and the simplest deployment mechanism to demonstrate the capabilities. So if you are interested to know more about it, you can try out yourself and get into the remaining advanced sections. Okay, so I have already executed this docker run command in my VM. So I do have a VM which has Kafka in it. So if you see here, docker ps, so it has the container running. Okay, so this has been running for some time, and if you see, there is a port that is exposed from here, that is 8080. So it has a web GUI, and if you open the IP address colon port of this particular machine, you will get the Kafka GUI. Okay, so I'm going to open this, and let me open the GUI of it. So once you open, you will get this GUI. So this is basically the UI for Apache Kafka. Okay, and here this GUI can be used for managing multiple clusters. It is not just one cluster, so you can manage any number of clusters using this GUI. So maybe if you have like a dev, QA, prod, and different environments, what you can do is you can just use a single deployment of UI to manage everything. So and in the GUI itself, we have an option like configure new cluster. If you click on that, you will get an option. So you can put what is the name of the cluster, then you can specify whether you need that to be read-only or you want to manage that. Okay, manage that means basically this GUI gives you the capability to create topics, manage topic, a lot of admin related activities they provide. Okay, so if you are giving it read-only, so then basically it will just give you like a view-only configuration for setup for the cluster. So then you can add the bootstrap servers. This is basically the brokers. So cluster name is basically the name, and the bootstrap server is basically the brokers of that is part of the Kafka cluster. So you can add multiple. Okay, you can add multiple blockers, and the remaining authentication, schema registry, Kafka connect, ksql db, all these are related to the Kafka, and you can configure all these depending upon the type of Kafka cluster you have. So in my case, I have a simple Kafka cluster. So what I have done is I have just so in my case, I don't have a ksql db, I don't have a Kafka connect, I don't have a schema registry, so I have like a very simple Kafka. So what I did is I just added the cluster name, added the broker, so basically the broker host and port. In my case, the broker host is just an IP address. It is basically 192.168.1.28, and the port, the default port is 9092. So in your case, let's say if the port is something different, so you can configure the port that you have in the where the brokers are listening. So once you configure all those, you can do a validate and submit. So I have already added my cluster. That is what you see on the left hand side as coders cluster. So what we'll do is, and if the cluster is reachable and online, so it will show in the online sections. Okay, so in my case, you can see there is one online cluster and one offline, because the second one is not reachable. So I just added some configuration over there. That's why it is not reachable. The first one, it is a real cluster, so that is reachable, and it is giving you like what is the version of Apache Kafka running over there, and how many partitions are there, how many topics are there, like production, consumption, how much is getting produced, how much is getting consumed, all those information, like it shows you the real-time information over here. So let's get into the cluster and see like what is going on. So on the left hand side, you will see the configured clusters. So once you expand that cluster, you will see brokers, topics, consumers. Okay, so brokers, in my case, as I explained, I have only one broker. That's why you see broker count 1, active controller, online, right? It's basically the number of partitions. 62 partitions are online, right? In sync replica 62 out of 62, because I have only replication 1. That's why you see like the replication factor is the same. Replicas will be same as the number of partitions, because the replication factor is 1. So, and the port, okay, host, everything, it is showing up, and this gives you like the detail, like a log directory, configs, the metrics, all those, the broker related configurations it gives you. Okay, and you okay, so now next, if you get into the topic section, so this list all the topics which is present in the Kafka. So and you can there is an option to add a topic as well, so you can configure, create new topics from here as well. So in generally, if you want to do this, you will have to either use the CLI or Pro API, right? So here they are giving direct options, and it is very user friendly. You can give the topic name, partitions you can specify, cleanup policy you can specify, delete, compact or compact delete, then in sync replicas, right? The minimum in sync replicas, replication factor. This is the retention configuration, time to retain data. Then so basically the disk size in GB. Okay, so max size on disk in GB. So here you can specify like how much size you need to configure. And if you want to configure any other parameters related to the topic, all those you can configure it from here itself and create the topic. That is what the create option will give. And let's say if you want to explore some existing topic, if you see this topic 3, topic 3, you see like there are around 2045 messages that is sent on this topic. 3 partitions it has, replication factor 1. If you get inside this, you will see more details about it. It shows like the various partitions inside this, and this page has multiple tabs. So if you go to the messages section, so you can even see the messages. Okay, so that was when gone inside this particular topic. So if you see some of these messages, this doesn't have a key. That's why you see there is no key, it has only value. But if you scroll down, you will see some messages which has key as well as value. This has he as hello, value, and headers. If it is there, if there is some headers, it will show the headers as well. It shows the timestamp, okay, keys per day, values per day, the serialization thing, all those related things it will show. Okay, so and here also there is an option to produce message. Basically, if you want to do some trial, it's equivalent to producer. Okay, so if you produce message, it will come here. So similarly, the consumers. Okay, so if there are any consumers, so basically it will show the consumer group associated with this particular topic. So I have used 2 consumer groups, and right now there are no consumers active here. That's why it is showing empty. So there are 2 consumer groups, active consumers 0. Okay, so but if there is any consumer which is live using this particular consumer group, so then it will show active consumers based on that particular live number of consumers. Okay, so then the topic settings, so whatever we have used while creating, plus the default settings, so those things will show up over there. Okay, so then basically like the statistics of like the particular topic, so total number of messages, right, partition specific statistics, so all those like so this will have more values once if the data is flowing through the topic. Okay, so basically what it is giving is, it is giving you a very user friendly way to monitor this entire Kafka cluster. Okay, so that is the overall thing. And right now this doesn't have an authentication because I have not configured any authentication mechanism with this particular web UI, but you can configure a simple authentication, that is basic authentication with a username password, and also you can configure SSO based authentication, and this gives you like the light theme, dark theme option. If you choose light theme, so it will give you white background, and if you choose dark theme, so it will give you like dark background. So overall it is a very user friendly and very useful application for people who manages Kafka. So I thought of introducing it to everyone so that you can use it. Okay, so if you have any questions, feedback, comment, anything related to this video or Kafka GUI, feel free to comment below this video. And if you find my videos useful, please like and subscribe this channel, because I will be publishing more interesting videos like this in the future. And there are a lot of videos in my channel. Go through my previous videos as well, so that you will get a sense of like what I was preparing and what I was presenting to the audience. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. Have a nice day.